This is the Average to Savage podcast with Paul Guarino. Everyone and anyone, athletes, celebs, and much more.
What's up, everybody? I'm back for another episode of the Average Savage podcast. Our special guest is WNBA champion Lexie Brown. Lexie, how does that sound this year?
It sounds crazy. It really does, but it's cool, and I try to add it to my name as often as I can. Really.
Yeah, we're adding it to your name. So this is your third time on this show, fourth interview. We're doing this every year, as I said, probably every time now. So it's dope because no one else has this. No one else can have it now.
Yeah, this is cool. It's kind of like what Billie Eilish does with her little Vogue thing.
I think that's where I got it from, because I was like, yo, we interviewed Lexie.
Or Elle, whoever she does it with. Yeah, no, that's really cool to see. Look back and see how much I've changed and stuff.
That's why it's funny too, because like even when I was just like thinking about questions, I'm like, I'm not gonna ask her stuff that I already asked her, but it's like we just review almost like the year in basketball, and then obviously fun questions and things like that. So since you're a three-time guest, I'm gonna let you pick how we're gonna do this. If we're gonna do the fun questions first, or we're gonna do the basketball questions first.
Let's start with the fun questions.
All right. All right, here we go. Let's see, which one do I want to start with first? All right, what are your thoughts on the metaverse?
The metaverse is weird. I think it's terrifying, and I already think that people struggle with like being around people in real life now, and now it's like you really don't have to leave your house and be social. And I think people's social skills are going down the drain. People don't have how to read the room, and people don't have empathy for other people. And I think it's going to ruin the world and society. And it's giving Ready Player One vibes, which I love that movie. But like, that's not really a way I would like our world to be. It is kind of cool that you could go in and be a completely different person. I mean, I guess that is cool, but I think I watched too much Black Mirror, and I watched too many sci-fi movies and stuff to where there's just so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
So I think it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I've been in a lot of Twitter spaces, and everyone like has their profile pictures as not themselves. So or they don't have their real names up there. So like I'm like in there with my face, my regular face, and in my name, and I'm like, so I don't feel comfortable calling you like whatever you're at. Like, what's your name? Like, what's your real name?
I just don't understand how people go on the internet and not be who they like. I've just never understood. I've never understood that.
Now it's even weirder. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then even like sometimes it's like real people, and I'm like, is that even a real person? I don't even know who's real and who's not real. And you can go through their pictures and stuff on Twitter, and like they don't even have any pictures of themselves to verify that's who they are in the profile. Even if they had that still doesn't mean anything. But
yeah,
it's scary to think about how normal it is to log online and just be a ghost online.
a robot.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, like I literally like someone reached out to me, and I was like, and they worked with somebody, and I was just like, I mean, I don't know. So I was like, what's your Instagram page? So just to like, I was just trying to verify that they're themselves, and it did check out, but it was just like I had to go through extra loops to figure out the person.
I've just never imagined not being me online.
Yeah.
Like it's a crazy concept to think about, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, now I think was it during 2021 that you started your podcast, or was it 2020?
It was the beginning of this year.
Gotcha. So what made you want to start a podcast, and are you going to continue it?
Well, I wanted to start a podcast because, well, the premise of the podcast was to be able to talk to my Twitter followers face to face. Like that was the whole point of the show, was because I was always talking
reverse metaverse.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, y'all want to talk to me all the time on Twitter. How about y'all come on the podcast and come talk to me on there? And that was pretty much the point of it. But it's just, I feel like my favorite podcasts are my favorite podcasts because people can just be who they are, say what they want to say, and do whatever. And I just felt like as a WNBA player, as like a role model right now, like, I mean, you know, some people are like, I'm not a role model. Like, I really enjoy being a role model. So there's like just some topics and things that I just like couldn't talk about, but I feel like I have really valid and hilarious opinions on a lot of things. And I just felt like it was fun, and it did well for the few episodes I did, but it was just like I just didn't think it was like the right time. The timing was kind of not as good as I thought it was gonna be. And then my whole situation in Chicago happened, and I was like, well, I can't be dealing with that and be like talking on a podcast, talking shit, and like, well, she's not on the team. What's she talking shit for? So had to shut it down. But I think that I'll get back into that space eventually. I think the timing just has to be right, and I want to be able to be like myself 100%, like opinions, topics. Like there's certain things that I just like stay away from completely, even on Twitter, because I'm just like, I don't have time and I don't want to get myself in trouble. I don't want to say anything that could bite me later, you know, offending somebody. You know, everyone's offended all the time. So I love podcasts. I love listening to them. And I think right now my lane is just being a guest on podcasts. I think that's my lane right now. And then grow into, you know, having my own hopefully.
For sure.
I feel like everybody has a podcast too right now. Literally everybody.
Yeah, everyone has a podcast. Well, I've been around since 2018, so I'll just put that out there.
Yeah, you're one of the OGs, I think. Literally the last 2 years, it's just like every celebrity has a podcast. Yeah. So I'm like, what the?
For sure. Yeah, sometimes I don't even know. Like for example, just like Russell Wilson, the quarterback for Seattle Seahawks. Like I didn't even know he had a podcast, and I like looked it up, and I was like, "What the hell?"
I didn't know you haven't either.
Yeah,
so just now.
Yeah. What I was well, when you just said about the like society thing, like that just brought it up. Like I don't ever watch superhero movies, but I went with my friend or whatever, and I saw did you see this new Spider-Man? Are you into that?
I haven't seen it yet, and I've heard
so I can't tell
really
you that.
Good. Yeah, I've heard it's really good. But I tried to go see it when I was in France, but they didn't have it playing in English, so I couldn't go.
I'm just gonna say I didn't like it because of the plot, and they made it into this what society is today, I guess.
Does it like have to? Because I feel like now all superhero movies are just kind of like, even if they are a superhero that has previous movies, it's like every movie is like a standalone. Like, you don't have to know anything about Spider-Man.
I'm just saying I'll just say they were a little soft in the movie.
That makes sense. I mean, I was watching some like older movies. What movie was I watching? I was watching some older movie, and I was like, this movie would never fly in 2021. Like, how did this? Like, when did this shift even happen of like people just being hypersensitive? Like, it's so annoying. Like, movies aren't made like they were used to, and I hate that. And I like don't even go to the movie. I don't even watch movies really anymore. And if I do, I would just watch old movies that I've already watched. Like,
these movies are made. Yeah, I mean, I think the people that took the biggest hit, it was definitely like comedians, because now they like it's
sure. Like, what was the last funny movie that came out? That like wasn't.
I always look for comedies, and I can never find like a lot. Like,
there's none. I feel like the last funny movie I saw in theaters was like Jumanji or something.
All right.
Like, I can't even think about the last like hilarious movie I saw in theaters.
Yeah. I also went to the movies. Well, when I went to the movies, that was the first time I've been there since like the pandemic, and it was definitely weird. I was like, yeah, this is probably not a good spot to be.
Yeah, I went to the movie. I did go to the movies once in France when I was in Paris, and I went with one of my friends, and I told him, I was like, I don't think that this movie is going to be in English. And we go into the movie theater. First of all, the movie theater was disgusting. It was so dirty. And maybe it was because of COVID, where I was like looking at everything and I was just like, this just looks disgusting. And then like people were like sitting like mad close to us. Like it was the theater was pretty empty, and like everyone was like gathering in like this like quarter part of the theater. And we were like, what the heck? But like, I'm thinking about movies like I would go see, like sitting next to complete strangers, eating popcorn, like my hand, all the popcorn on the chairs. Like, it just is disgusting to think about. But anyway, the point of my story is the movie was not in English. and we left. And we were very disappointed. But yeah, I don't know the next time I'll go to a movie theater. My sisters, they are going to see Spider-Man tomorrow. I wasn't invited because they didn't think I was going to be home yet, and they got their tickets like mad early. So I'm not going.
Well, probably for the best, anyways. At this point, it's weird. Just stuff
Yeah,
is weird.
no, I told them, I said, don't even worry about it. It's okay. Go enjoy the COVID food theater. Bye.
Yeah. All right. So, I just did some research on your pages, and so I came up with some fun questions from your social media posts.
Oh, great.
And so what are your top 5 red flags?
Of a person or someone that I'm trying to date?
Oh, we'll do both. They gotta be
Um,
similar.
oh gosh, yeah. Okay, we'll just do it of a person.
All right.
Let's see. Let me say this. I see red flags and I just look past them. So we'll put that out there right now, because anybody who's listening is probably like, you know a lot of people that act like this that you like.
Oh yeah, we all have friends that we know
Um,
are a little
oh,
crazy.
here's one. They don't want to split the bill at dinner.
Yeah.
Group dinners. Um,
That's a good one.
They, I don't know. This is hard. Put on the spot like this. Just a pathological liar, unprovoked. No, not pathological liars. Unprovoked liars about just any like little things. Like you don't even have to be lying about anything that has to do with me. But if you just lie about random things, like that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Another red flag is if you're not a good communicator. Don't like that. That's for friends or more than friend. Don't like watching Netflix with subtitles on them.
I don't know if that's it. I don't know if
Love
that's
doing
considered a
that.
red flag.
And if you won't let me watch my Netflix with my subtitles, then we're gonna have a problem.
Wait, with or without them?
With subtitles.
On foreign movies or just in general?
Everything. I watch movies with subtitles, shows with subtitles, everything with subtitles. I don't know when this started, but it's like comfortable for me, and I can't watch things without subtitles now. The only thing I watch without subtitles is like basketball games and stuff. Which if I could watch those with subtitles, I probably would. And then 5th, well, I guess, yeah, this can go for everybody. People who like mess up their grammar and spelling. Texting and on social media, I'm like, okay, we have autocorrect. Like we can't keep doing this anymore. Yeah.
All right, I like that. I'm trying to think of one. I thought about one the other day, but I forgot what it was. Like I didn't even realize it got to me until recently, but I forgot what it was. But maybe I'll think about it. But that was good, and on the spot, so that was good. This next one is, what happens if somebody calls you Alexis?
Ugh. I hate it. I'll just be like, let's try that again. Because no, especially if it's someone I'm not really that cool with. I'm like, you're trying to be funny and I don't like it. I hate it actually. Like nobody, I hate it so much. And I know that's my name. People are like, that's literally your name. But like I've been called Lexie my entire life. So
yeah, so in the France box score they put it like that. A Brown.
Yeah, it just doesn't even sound right. Like
A
I don't know. Like sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll go by Alexis when I'm older, but like now I'm older and I still don't want to be called Alexis. So
what if somebody said, like, say you're at your game or whatever, after your game and someone shouted like Alexis, would you like even turn or no?
I would be like, I would turn and give
But I'm
them
saying, does that get your attention because people don't call you that?
Well, it depends on where I am. Like sometimes, like you can tell when someone's like trying to get your attention
Yeah.
specifically. But yeah, I probably wouldn't react to the first Alexis. But I don't know. There's if anybody just calls me Alexis and doesn't know that I go by Lexie, then like then there's no way they're talking to me because everybody knows me as Lexie.
It's a red
Only
flag.
oh, yeah, there's another red flag. If you try and call me
I'm
Alexis,
next
don't
time.
do it.
Next time I'm at your game and I see you after, I'm gonna just say it just to piss you
Oh,
off.
it just doesn't. Why? When you say it, you're gonna be like, oh, that doesn't even sound right. No, it doesn't. It doesn't go. It doesn't. No, it's not the vibes. It's not the vibes.
All right.
My own name.
That was a good one. Growing up as a kid, who was the coolest person you met when you were with your dad?
Um, coolest person I met. Honestly, I would have to say his players when he coached the Orlando Miracle.
All right, that makes
I
sense.
loved them, and they were so nice to me, and I was around them a lot, and I like just loved being around them so much, and they were really good, and like that was like that season was like when I wanted to play in the WNBA. When my dad was coaching the Miracle, that's when I was like, this is what I want to do. Like this is what I want to do when I grow up. But yeah, it
That's
was
dope.
such an amazing group of women, and they loved me, and they loved my dad, and it was just really fun. And obviously, being in the WNBA, there's like a lot of things that go on that you have no idea about on the outside. And I was a kid,
Hmm.
but just being around them the few days a week I was, and at the games and stuff, like I thought they were like superheroes. I loved them so much.
That's dope. No, that's dope because you saw it like when you were younger and like not
Yeah,
not many. I mean a lot of, yeah. I mean a lot of the women in the WNBA now. Well, I mean we're getting there, but a lot of them didn't. The WNBA didn't even exist for some reason.
right.
Yeah, that's weird. We're getting older, so it's
I
almost it's
know.
almost. I guess once it's so what was it?
You're
Probably
26 now, so I'm 27. So I mean, it was around, but I don't think I would have ever like went to a game if my dad wasn't coaching.
yeah.
And I don't remember seeing like a ton of young girls. I don't know, I don't really remember because I was just so locked into the games and stuff. But
Yeah.
um, I don't know a lot of girls my age who like grew up going to WNBA games. They kind of got into it like a little bit later in their lives when they got more involved with the sport. But I was around it since like before middle school and stuff. So that was really cool for me.
Yeah, definitely. Are you still a Chick-fil-A addict?
I am, and I have not had it yet since I've been here. There's not one near our house. I mean, there is one. No, not really. Like it's like 15-20 minute drive. So I haven't been. Dunkin' Donuts has leapt over Chick-fil-A as my favorite thing to eat/drink. So I got home Sunday. I've already had Dunkin' Donuts twice. Um, I will be hitting up Chick-fil-A in these next
R-
couple days though.
What, so what's your go-to order at Chick-fil-A?
At Chick-fil-A, depending on how hungry I am, we'll go with fat girl day. Like this is my fat girl order. I'll get a number one large fries with Chick-fil-A sauce and a sweet tea lemonade mix. And then I will get a kids meal 6-piece nugget with fries and then a small mac and cheese. And then I'll mix the mac and cheese and the chicken nuggets and the fries together with um, buffalo sauce. And you like shake it all together and you like make like a mac and cheese chicken french fry mixture thing.
I saw that on TikTok and then I did it.
Yep. That's exactly where I saw it. TikTok has all the gems.
Yeah.
If you need restaurant recommendations, food recipes, go to TikTok. Like Pinterest, then TikTok. Like when it comes to food, anything food related. And I have all these recipes saved as if I'm gonna cook any of them. But I might one day.
Well, haven't you had a cook over? You had a cook overseas or no?
I cook for myself every day.
So
It was miserable.
So what have you been cooking?
I cooked a lot of salmon, um, a lot of eggs, um, I made pasta chicken. I meal prepped for weeks, so that was an interesting journey. I don't necessarily like to meal prep because I like to eat like I don't like to eat the same thing every day. Um,
I feel you
so
on that for
it
sure.
was, I mean, it was good. It was so easy to like come home from practice and just put some food in like the microwave and just sit down with it. Because in Europe, it's like you have like, here we have like restaurants and then you have like restaurants that are still like fast and then you have fast food. But like in Europe, you have fast food or restaurant. So I didn't want to eat like fast food and then I didn't want to go sit in a restaurant.
Oh, have you ever heard of the show Emily in Paris?
Yes, a lady in front of me on my flight was watching it.
Oh, good. So this is so I texted some people. I said I need some fun questions for Lexie. So they said, "Is she going to be in Emily in Paris season 2?"
I wish. I didn't actually live in Paris, so um but I wish I did. If I lived in Paris, I would have probably had a much more enjoyable time when I was in France if I lived in Paris because Paris is amazing. And they have Chipotle's there.
All right, all right. You ready for? All right, you ready? You ready for the basketball questions?
Yeah,
All right. So your journey at the beginning of the season was crazy.
a mess. Yes.
So you started out in training camp with the Sky, and then I think they released you. And then didn't you get re-signed like a couple times on them?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times.
Gotcha. All right. So then eventually they signed you, right, for the rest of the season. And then what has your whole what was the WNBA season like for you?
Um, well, the beginning obviously was terrible.
Hmm.
Um, Starting with getting waived from Minnesota. And everybody at this point, everybody kind of knows how I felt about that situation.
Hmm.
And that kind of just set the tone for how like the first half of my season went. It was just kind of like I was, and because of COVID, everything was just kind of like different. Like everything couldn't happen as instantly as normal because you would have to like go test and like make sure you were good for a few days before you could go to a new city or a new camp or something. So it was just like really hectic. And then all through training camp, like, I mean, I go to every training camp I've been to, I go and I like play really hard and I want to be one of the best players in training camp. But it's like this training camp just felt a little different for me. Like I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna make this team. Like just because
Hmm.
of the circumstances, I was just like, it was all really last minute. And so when I did eventually get waived, I wasn't like surprised.
Hmm.
I was just kind of more annoyed because I was like, this is like just the result of how we got to this point because there was just a lack of planning on our part, but that was because we didn't have enough time to really figure anything out. So that was terrible. I was ready to like not play in the WNBA anymore. Um, I was like, you know what? This might just be it for me. And I mean, I was really upset about it, but then I was like kind of coming to terms with it. And then they called back and they were like, we might need you to come back. And at first I was kind of like, do I want to, like, I don't want to go back there, blah, blah, blah. But then I really enjoyed the girls like at training camp. Like, even though I was kind of stressed the whole time, like I really enjoyed, the players and getting to know them. And obviously Diamond was there, who's my best friend. So I really wanted to, be able to spend the summer with her in Chicago. That'd be really fun. So yeah, then I went back, played one game, and then got waived again for like salary cap stuff. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is going on? So then I had to wait another like 2 weeks or something before I could play again. So, this season was just all expectations I had for myself went out the window. And I just had to focus on just being there for the team and just doing what I could. I told everybody, I was like, I was there for the vibes. And that's what I was doing. Our practices were intense. They were hard. We didn't have practice guys. So we were going at it every day. So that kind of became the bench's role this season, was to challenge the starting group in practice, which it's important to do that. And I think that our bench players really embraced that role. And I think that's what set us apart in the playoffs is, you know, we didn't play a ton, but when we did, it was fine. But our starters were always overly prepared for every game.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to credit myself and the rest of the bench for that because we came into practice every day ready. Like we didn't come in on games and with attitudes and on bullshit. Like we knew that what we did in practice was very important to help us win games. So from maybe after All-Star break and Olympic break on was probably like the most fun part of the season for me. I had fun. I settled in. I have a lot of friends in Chicago, and you know, we just enjoyed the city. You know, in every game there was like more and more fans. Like it was weird. It was like the more like we would be like, well, obviously when you're winning, you have more fans, but like once you're like more out in the city, meeting people and stuff, like more people like want to come watch us. So like it was really fun seeing from the beginning of the season where the gym was like half full to finals. People were reselling tickets for ridiculous prices, hitting us up like, oh, y'all got any more tickets and da 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 da. And like it was just really exciting. It was really fun. So yeah, I would say for as bad as it started, it ended up being one of the best summers ever. And I had so much fun. And then ended with a championship was a cherry on top. And yeah, it was quite the adventure for me.
Yeah, definitely. So like, how does it feel to be a champion now?
It feels great. And it sucks because we won, I was in France like literally 7 days later.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have time to like soak it all in really.
Yeah.
Because I was so stressed out about getting everything packed and shipped off and getting home and getting ready for France. So I didn't really get to enjoy like being a champion in Chicago like that much. So that kind of sucks. So hopefully I can go back there sooner than later and, you know, use my champion card and, you know, go do some fun things and have fun in the city and stuff. But I mean, it's an accomplishment that nobody can take away.
Yeah.
Not everybody experiences that. And to do it with the team that we did it with, it was a really special group, and we really care about each other a lot. And it was a very up and down season, but we all knew that we were gonna get to the finals. Like I told everybody all the time, I said, I don't know what we got going on right now, but we're gonna be in the finals. Yeah. So that's what I told my French team. I said, I know the season starts this day, but we're getting to the finals. So just keep that in mind. They're like, okay. And I was like, all right, like I'm being serious. So it's really good to be a champion. You know, I get to say I'm a champion until next September, October. So I mean, hopefully we can run it back, repeat maybe. Yeah. But if not, I mean, we're the defending champs, and that's going to be a fun title to have for a season, and something I've never experienced before. So it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's why it's crazy to think about. Like even though there's only 12 teams, like there's still great WNBA players that haven't ever won.
And there's a lot of franchises that don't have a championship.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that's why it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
So to bring the first one to Chicago, like it's great. It's amazing. It was a great feeling, and you know, everyone was crying and stuff because we were like, we went through so much this season.
Yeah. What were you guys, the 6th seed or 6th?
6.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes.
That was a crazy run.
Yeah.
And then you beat your 2 former teams. I'll just say that.
Sure did.
Oh my god.
Written in the stars.
And then so going into France, is this your 2nd year overseas or third? Third year. So how is France? And are you going back there after the break or no?
France was good. I was really excited to go because obviously I spent the whole summer not really playing that much. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to get back in the rhythm and get my confidence back and get back in the gym and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it didn't really work out for me there. So no, I'm not going back. I just don't know if overseas is for me anymore. And it's just a very hard lifestyle. And I think you have to see the positive in it. And obviously when people ask us about it, you're like, oh, it's great. It's awesome. You get to experience great things. And like, yeah, there are some really good things about playing overseas, but there's like a lot of not so good things about playing overseas. So it really just depends on like what you want to tolerate in your life, things you want to deal with, being away from your family, possibly having to like build your life long distance or have the person you're building your life with overseas with you. Like there's just so many things that I just didn't want to deal with anymore. But I personally played very, very well over there. I feel great about my game right now. So I don't know. I might go back in the future. I just don't know. I don't know. It's just a lot being over there.
Is the reason because it's like no one's speaking English and stuff like I don't know because I never.
I mean, I had a few teammates that could speak English. My coach could speak English, but it's like when the majority speaks French.
So I'm saying, like, for example, like if you went to Australia and everyone speaks English, like, is that better?
I don't know if it's better. It's still far as hell.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me was just being far away from everybody and everything.
Yeah.
And it's just, I like used to remember. I don't know if I said that like I was like a loner. I don't know if I've ever said that on this, but I take it back because I'm not a loner. I like my alone time, but I love being with my friends. I love being with my family. I love being out. I love going to do things. I like going to dinners. I like going to brunch. I like going shopping. I like doing all these things. And this year in France was the first time I was just by myself all the time. And I was so sad all the time. And I didn't like that. After having an entire summer of being just super social and fun and just with all my people, and just to make that lifestyle switch so fast, I just don't think mentally I was ready to do all of that. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see if I ever said that. If I'm a loner. Girl, you're not.
I feel like you did say that.
I think I did say that. I'm not a loner.
See, like I understand what you're saying, but I have no idea what you're saying at the same time because like I never lived overseas. So
right. I mean, just it's the way Europeans live, and just it's different. It's very different. But I had a good experience. I got to go to Paris. Yeah. Which was something I never thought I was gonna be able to do in my life. So being able to go to Paris was amazing. And I got to go for like a few days. And then, like I said, I got back in my bag on the court, and that's really what I went over there to do. So,
yeah. So you had 10 threes in one game.
Yeah, broke a little French league record.
Was that the most you ever hit in a game?
Yeah, it is. I think I hit 9 once in college.
So are you like after that? Are you like, how does like Steph Curry do this like all the time?
I mean, I see how he does. If I get the attempts, I'm gonna make them. Like, yeah. I don't think like that's what people like don't understand about my game is like I've always been so like efficient. Like I've always been like so tapped into being an efficient player. Like I don't like taking bad shots. I like to make as many shots as possible. Like people are like, well, you're so hard on yourself all the time. You're like, yeah, because I want to make all the shots because I work on this all the time. But if you give me shot attempts, like maybe I like, everybody has an off day, but 85% of the time you give me 10 plus threes, I'm gonna make 5 of them. So I was just having a good day. I don't know what got into me, but I made my first 3 of the game and I was like, oh, okay. This is what type of day we having. So
you just knew it after the first one?
The first 2. And the way the team was guarding me was like low-key rude. Like I couldn't shoot. But I don't blame them because my percentage at the time was trash. But I had a game that I made 6. And I don't care how bad your percent. I don't care what your percentage looks like. If you make 6 threes, you're a good. Like you can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Like bad shooters are not making 6 threes in a game. Like they're not. So even though my percentage didn't reflect the type of shooter I was still kind of like, dang, y'all really gonna do me like this? And then by the time they like tried to get me out of the flow, it was too late.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
was too late.
So, all right. So, what do you think about this new league starting up in I think it's Unlimited or Sport or Athletes
Athletes
Unlimited?
Unlimited.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be interesting to see because they haven't announced all the players yet. So I'm looking forward to that announcement of the rest of the rosters and stuff. I think it could be game changing for mostly, I think, WNBA players, but also, maybe players that don't want to go overseas. But I don't think the money you make in this league obviously does not compare to the money you can make overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So until that number goes up, I don't think we'll see a ton of like strictly overseas players making the change. But as far as WNBA players, I think it would be great to have this league. I mean, it'll be 6 weeks of just playing against each other, having a good time, making some money. I don't know. I think I've always thought that like a G League type situation for girls, it's just like, it would be cool, but it's like, it's not as necessary for guys because, we don't leave early. So, there's not really much more development you can have as a girl, I don't think, after college, because I think there's a lot of college coaches that are really good with that, the development part. And then I feel like as a girl, like once you become a pro, like that's what you want to do. Like, it's not like with guys where you like, there's some guys who are like dabbling in the pro life or whatever. They leave early and they're like, okay, I'm only 20. I'm only 19. Like, let me try and reach this dream. But like some girls are coming out of college 23, 24 years old. Like, you don't really have time to like F around and struggle to try and become a pro. And even going overseas doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get to the WNBA either. So it really just depends on what type of route the players want to take. But I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think you're going to see like a lot of the personalities of the players a lot more, which is like, that's what I'm excited about, because I feel like in the WNBA, you see like the personalities of like 5 players and that's it. So it'll be nice to see, some other WNBA players be able to, branch out and do their thing.
So are you playing in the league?
I don't know yet.
It sounded like you were giving me a hint when you just said I want to hear the roster to see the
roster.
roster.
I was, when they first started planning for this, I was playing, and then I decided to go overseas because of my roller coaster ride of a WNBA season. So now we're just kind of looking at next steps right now and just trying to figure it out and see, maybe I could go to another team overseas, maybe stay here and play in that league. But I'm gonna be playing somewhere. So if it's not that league, I might just go back and just be on a different team. I don't know. Just trying to enjoy the holidays and then figure the rest out later.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I gotta say, I appreciate you coming on again. And so the last 2 years, you were in both of the top 5 episodes, and on 2019 it was number 4. In 2020 it was number 5. So that's why I got to get it out before, and then it might have to recalculate the top 5.
Yeah, give me in the top 5, peeps.